Welcome to ETH Daily, a daily briefing on the latest in Ethereum. EIP 3651 is slated for the Shanghai upgrade. Aztec Network releases an alias recovery tool. zkSync introduces a bootloader contract, and LayerZero Labs buys out its equity from FTX. All this and more from ETH Daily starts right now. EIP 3651, also known as Warm Coinbase, is planned to be included in Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade. Warm Coinbase reduces gas fees for transaction builders by keeping the Coinbase address warm. Builders such as Flashbots are responsible for packaging transactions which are sent to validators. Coinbase is the name of the software used by builders to receive tokens. With EIP 3651, builders no longer need to execute an initial transaction to warm up the Coinbase address. The EIP reduces gas fees for MEV participants who execute complex trades. There would also be no gas fees for failed builder transactions. Aztec Network released a tool for recovering aliases trapped in the old zk.money system. Aliases created in the old system have been inaccessible for users who did not access their account between June 2021 and June 2022. Support for accessing old aliases in the new system was dropped this year for security purposes. Users with aliases associated to a public key generated from the retired signing message system can now use zk.money/toolbox to transfer their alias to a new account. The migration to the new zk.money system introduced human-readable signatures for key generation and improved security updates. zkSync introduced Bootloader, an account abstraction contract used for executing bundles of transactions. The bootloader reads transactions sequentially, sets meta parameters, and requests permission from the originating account to execute the transaction on its behalf. The mechanism is known as account abstraction. Account abstraction is supported natively on zkSync 2.0. It allows users to pay for transaction fees and ERC20 tokens. User transactions are sent to a separate mempool where they are bundled by relayers into a single transaction that is included in a block. Developers use the bootloader contract when implementing account abstraction features. Cross-chain messaging protocol LayerZero Labs has bought back 100% of its equity stake from FTX and Alameda Research. FTX Ventures had co-led a $135 million investment round in LayerZero Labs back in March. The deal also included STG token warrants, which will now be transferred back to the Stargate Foundation. In a memo to investors, LayerZero CEO Brian Pellegrino revealed that the project has $107 million in direct cash balance and $27 million in on-chain funds for a total of $124 million worth of assets. According to Pellegrino, the capital provides no less than 7 years of runway for the project. FTX has since filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And lastly, USD peg stablecoin Magic Internet Money, also known as MIM, broke its peg amid the collapse of FTT, the native token of FTX. More than 30% of MIM is backed by FTT collateral. Abracadabra Money, the protocol behind MIM, also holds $8.5 million in bad debt caused by exposure to Terra Luna. Bad debt accounts for roughly 6% of the protocol's assets. Exposure to FTT bears the risk of additional bad debt in the event that liquidations don't execute fast enough to cover the protocol's liabilities. Bad debt exposes users to risk of loss as there is not enough collateral to process withdrawals in full. Some users have hedged against the MIM DPEG on hedging protocol Y2K Finance. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories from ETH Daily. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us on Twitter at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.substack.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.